It's your worst nightmare as a B2B founder if your cold emails start landing in spam, and even worse when you don't even know why. If it does, your most predictable, low-cost pipeline channel is gone. So today, I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on why your emails are in spam and how exactly you can fix this to deliver at 98% at all times. Hi, I'm Harsh, and I've booked over 2,000 qualified B2B meetings for our clients, including some Fortune 500 companies, many billion-dollar companies, and companies including Verizon, Four Seasons. But here's the thing. After sending millions of cold emails, even I have been in spam more times than I care to admit. But let me tell you that one, there's always a way out of spam. And in this video, I'm going to show you my exact weekly deliverability test and the placement check I run before every campaign, the domain rotation strategy that keeps me and my clients' emails out of spam, and everything else there is. At the end of this video, you'll have a complete system you can implement right now, and this will help you fix your deliverability. So, do yourself a favor, watch this a couple of times because it takes a while to understand deliverability, where things go wrong and how you can fix it. I'll do my best to use visuals to keep you entertained. Let's start. The problem. Why emails land in spam? In my opinion, 4 layers that matter the most: the domain, the ESP, the copy, and your setup. And the biggest mistake I see people make is thinking it's one layer, like it's one thing. Like deliverability is not one thing. It's got a lot of different layers that come into play. And to find out what's wrong, you have to test each layer independently and isolate the problem. So, dividing it step by step, the first step for you is to check your DNS records. This is the first layer, and this includes 3 things: SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. They must be configured properly for you to be delivering in the inbox. SPF is sending server that authorizes your emails. DKIM verifies that it's not been altered in the way, and DMARC is what tells the providers if SPF or DKIM fail. Now the problem is people set up DNS once and they never check it again. But sometimes you send it wrong and you never end up checking what's wrong. How do you check your DNS? I personally use this tool called Email Guard, and you can actually monitor inboxes there. So as soon as there's a fall in the mistake in any of these, it will tell you there's something wrong with your DNS setup. The second step, check if your domain is blacklisted. Sometimes even with like the most perfect DNS systems records, you could be blacklisted. And once you're blacklisted, your email providers already block you straight up. How it happens? You get blacklisted randomly, there's a volume spike, you hit spam tracks, or the domain was previously spammed and marked. There are some common blacklists that you have to look out for, including spam hosts, Barracuda, Proofpoint, and Source. You want to use Email Guard to check if you're blacklisted or not. If you are, there are 2 things you can do about it. First, request a removal. It takes days and there's no guarantees, or you can just give it and replace the domain. A pro tip here, you should be checking blacklists every single week if you're sending high volume. By the way, if you want a full checklist for all of this, I've put together a free deliverability guide to keep you out of spam. The link will be in the description of this video, and you can grab it from there. Coming back to step 3, and this is something that we've been doing for a while now, that is running inbox placement tests and running spam filter tests on your copy. If your DNS is clean, you're not blacklisted, then you need to pinpoint what's wrong on your domain or if it's a copy. So you could be randomly blocked on an inbox level with spam filters because of your sending patterns, your domain being new, or warm-ups. You need to know if you're delivering or not. So the best way to do this is using Email Guard inbox placement tests. If your score is low, you're good. But if it marks you as this warning, like if you have a score of 4, it's probably your copy that's the reason you're landing in spam. And if you have a score of 6 above, do not send emails. Let's talk about some factors that define if you land on the inbox or you land in spam. The first one is domain age. If you have a new domain, you start sending cold emails, you will get caught by ESPs. Second, your warm-up. You should be warming up for 3 weeks at all times. Your volume. You should never randomly spike your volume because this can trigger the ESP telling this guy is spamming. Increase it slowly. Now, if you have any of these problems, how do you go about fixing it? Stop sending immediately. First, if your domain is blacklisted, get it removed or get it replaced. If it's not, then you can start by dropping back 5 or 10 emails for the next 2 weeks and increasing warm-up by the same amount. Also, make sure you're not sending more than 10 to 12 emails per Google inbox and not more than 3 per Azure. And try to keep 3 inboxes per domain for Google and 49 for Azure. Another thing that we do here, especially for Outlook, is we don't send to Outlook for the first 2 months. We send to Google, we build that domain age, their reputation, we age the domain on Google, and then we start using Outlook. So next thing you want to do is run placement tests. Placement tests tell you exactly where you're landing. Speaking about copy, when you're running placement tests, make sure you add a simple copy. And then you want to run a placement test again with a different copy. If the simple copy delivers and the other copy does not, it's probably your copy that's getting flagged. Another thing that we do here is tagging inboxes by ESP. So we separate our leads based on Google and Outlook, and then we run placement tests to divide inboxes based off of where they are delivering. So if an inbox delivers to Google, it will only send to Google. If an inbox delivers to Outlook, it will only send to Outlook. By the way, if you want new cold email strategy or tips every single week directly in your inbox, join the free newsletter in the description below. Coming to the last step. If all of the above are fine, you want to start checking your copy with spam words. Another pro tip, do add an unsubscribe link on your website, on your email. When people can't find an option, like it should be a sentence, it should not be like the link saying reply off and I'll stop sending you emails. Now, when people don't find a way to opt out, their go-to is to mark you as spam. So you have to have an opt-out line at the end. I usually add something like a word that is, related to our offer. This makes ESPs think that he's not getting unsubscribes, actually getting replies. So that's another pro tip that we use. Now let's talk about some common mistakes that kill deliverability. And these are mistakes that my own team makes at times. First mistake that I see others making is using their primary domain. Only use burner domains for cold outreach. Do not burn your main domain and do not burn your clients' domains. Second mistake, leaving open tracking on. It adds a pixel on your email which is taken as a link and it triggers spam filters. Use reply rates to see if your emails are being opened or not. Just using only one ESP. Always split between two sending providers, usually Azure and Google, because some providers deliver better to some leads, to some ESPs. Fourth, not verifying your lead lists. You will burn your domains if you're sending emails without verifying them. We personally use Million Verifier, bounce ban, and we make sure our bounce rate is under 1.5%. Mistake 5, this is what most people don't know, is diagnosing the wrong layer. First, test all of these things separately and then diagnose what's wrong. Don't guess. So, if you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe right now. And if you're interested in learning more about cold emails and if you're still washing, then I've got something for you. I've made a list of tools that are needed for outbound and tools that help you deliver better. So if you want the exact infrastructure that I use to send over 2 million emails a month without burning your domains, go check out the link in the description.